What's up, everybody? Major Retired Richard Ojeda here, and you know what time it is? It's Psaki bomb time. If this was a volleyball match, she would have more spikes than three-time Olympic gold medalist Carrie Walsh. The jackaloons in the press that just keep serving her up the ball, thinking that they're going to get one over on her time and time again and just get it slapped right back into their face because this woman is not to be messed with. And at this point, I tune into the daily press briefings and I have my popcorn ready because she is now laying out Psaki bombs 2 and 3 times a day, and it makes for must-see TV in the Ojeda house. And if it sounds like I'm a fan, that's because I am. I love her no-nonsense approach. I love that she has no problem calling out the right-wing propaganda trolls posing as journalists in the White House press briefing room. She embarrasses them, and the country is better for it.
Senator Romney today basically said, I'll use the exact quote, that the speech yesterday that the president gave was, quote, going down the same tragic road taken by President Trump and casting the doubt on the reliability of American elections. Does the White House have a response to that?
With all due respect to Senator Romney, I think anyone would note there's a night and day difference between fomenting an insurrection based on lies totally debunked by 80 judges, including Trump-appointed ones, and election authorities across the country, and making objective, true statements, which is what the president made yesterday about the effects of a coordinated nationwide effort to undermine the constitutional right to vote. I know there has been a lot of claim of the offensive nature of the speech yesterday, which is hilarious on many levels, given how many people sat silently over the last 4 years for the former president. But I would note that in our view, and the president's view, what is far more offensive is the effort to suppress people's basic right to exercise who they want to support and who they want to elect. That's not a partisan thing, and that was why he gave such a strong speech yesterday. Go ahead.
To Mitch McConnell today, who had some strong words for the president, called his speech a rant, incoherent, profoundly unpresidential, but he also accused the president of shouting that 52 senators and millions of Americans are racist unless he gets whatever he wants.
Well, I know the president was asked about this and said, a version of this, I should say, and he said he considers Mitch McConnell a friend, and that is true. That is why is it even more disappointing that someone who has supported and advocated for voting rights in the past, wrote about it in his book, has talked about it publicly, and repeatedly voted for the extension of voting rights protections, is on the other side of this argument now.
Now let's get into the specific clip and why Jen Psaki had to posterize the latest jackaloon troll while at the same time throwing some shade towards Mitt Romney. The Republicans think that President Biden is being mean to them. Does the GOP need a pacifier while on the Senate floor? Look, folks, the Republicans are playing fast and loose with our democracy. They're hell-bent on blocking access to voters for people in lower income areas all across the country. And they're passing illegal, immoral, and unconstitutional Jim Crow-style voter restriction bills in Texas, Oklahoma, and other Republican-controlled states. The right to vote is not only reserved for wealthy individuals or people of means. The right to vote belongs to each and every single American, and the Republicans and some Democrats who shall remain nameless in this video will not steal that right from us. The John Lewis voter rights bill will supersede all these illegal laws the Republicans are trying to sneak through, and President Biden's not having it. So he's taking off the gloves and calling people out by name who stand in his way, and that's making Mitt Romney and some other jackaloons uncomfortable. My response is good. It's about time someone makes you uncomfortable. Too much is at stake for everyone to just sit around twiddling their thumbs while our democracy gets stripped away right from under our noses. You want to know what separates us from China, Russia, and North Korea? We have the right to vote, to elect our leaders, and to fire them like 81 million of us did to Trump last year when we were unhappy with his job performance. This is not something that we can take for granted, and something so precious that our forefathers risked it all for. The right to vote is not a partisan issue. It is the very fundamentals of our democracy. This nation was built on the principle that we have the right to be heard. No taxation without representation. Does anyone follow history anymore? Or are the Republicans trying to block the Revolutionary War and the Boston Tea Party from our schools now because it no longer fits with their alt-right agenda? President Biden, Press Secretary Jen Psaki, and everyone else better start getting mad too, because if we lose this battle, it's over. Democracy as we know it will be no more. So make some noise, make some calls, and let your representatives know that this is America and our voices matter. Sappers clear the way, airborne all the way.